Well, we have just concluded the budget vote speech for police, roads and transport. We move swiftly along to Dr. Dept for the Provincial Department of Education.
Speaker, on the 2019-2020 budget speech represents the continuity of our intention to close the gap of inequalities in education and also to improve learning outcomes in our schools. The overall 2019-20 budget allocation for the Free State Department of Education is 14.7 billion rands. In the previous financial year, our allocation was 13.6 billion rands. This is an increase of 1.1 billion rands, which represents an 8.49% growth. The allocation for administration increased by 4% from last year's allocation to about 1 billion. Public ordinary schools, the mainstay of our budgeting program, received 11.4 billion compared to 10.5 billion in 2014-2019 financial year, which is an increase of 8.2%. The allocation of independent schools decreased with 8% to 94 million. Public special schools education is allocated 591 million, which represents an increase of 17.7% from 2018-19 financial years. Early childhood development is allocated 164 million, an increase of 16% in 2019-2020 financial year. Infrastructure is allocated 849 million, which equates to about 5.96% of the total departmental budget. The allocation for examinations and education services is increased by 12.8% from last year's allocation to 573 million rands. Speaker, school safety has become one of the hottest topics in our education ecosystem. To address all those challenges, we initiated the verification of all schools to update linking of schools with local police stations using the new SAPS form. A database with the details of adopted corp and cluster police stations and the profile of each school have been developed and shared with the South African Police Service. Together with our stakeholders, we have decided to hold hands and stand against scourge of violence and crime engulfing our schools. Subsequent to the summit, we have established a provincial school safety steering committee, a collaborative structure that comprises of the South African Police Service, Department of Justice and Correctional Service, Health and Social Development, and teacher unions, school governing bodies, structures, provincial school governing body councils, provincial principals councils, and community-based organizations such as the Peter Swart Foundation, higher education institutions, and the Free State Liquor and Gambling Board. Together with the Department of Police, Roads and Transport, we have placed school safety patrollers through the EPWP grant at 38 schools across the province. Last week, together with Honorable Sam Mashinini, MEC for Police, Roads and Transport, we embarked on an unannounced, legally compliant search and seizure at our schools. We'll continue training stakeholders at the National School Safety Framework, on the National Schools Safety Framework, a guide to whole school-wide approach to combating school violence. Through the Direct Learner Support Development Strategy, vulnerable and learners at risk will be identified and supported in some of our education circuits, especially those where there's a correlation of poor learner discipline and poor educational outcomes. We're going to look into our human and budget capacity at both district and provincial level. We're also going to audit all our schools' infrastructure to ensure that we eliminate all the unsafe structures and buildings that may be hazardous to our educators and learners. Migration of ECD to the Department of Education must be understood within the principle of access to early learning and stimulation as a quality guided teaching, as well as quality guided teaching and resources. An amount of 1 million has been set aside in the 2019-20 financial year to train 1,200 practitioners on the national curriculum framework for early education, early childhood development for 0 to 4 years old. We don't want our children to go to school and just sit there, eat, sleep, eat. We want them to learn, indeed to learn through play. Additionally, 100 pre-grade R practitioners will also be trained on NQF level 4. Speaker, we have made great strides towards the universalization of grade R in the system. A total of 1,500 grade R classes have been established in ordinary public schools and independent schools, as well as 263 community-based centers. And these have given access to 48,462 grade R learners in the province. It has given 448,000 learners access to grade R. Speaker, in this financial year, 1,288 grade R teachers will be trained on subject content knowledge for grade R, as well as teaching reading and writing skills to ensure that language acquisition begins at lower level. Additionally, in partnership with Roger Federal Foundation, we'll be training 240 grade R teachers on school readiness utilizing ICT tablets for learners and teachers. The process will be rolled out in 3 years. Currently, 79 grade R practitioners are in the second year of study towards a national diploma in grade R teaching. They will soon join 233 qualified grade R practitioners in the system. Finally, 226 schools will be introduced to early grade reading assessment so as to provide appropriate support to learners to improve their skills in reading for meaning. We're going to address the provision of resources such as maths kit, robotics kits, and national science mobile laboratories for 75 primary schools. For the first time, we will also provide primary schools with recorded IBP DVDs containing math, science, and English for grades 3 to 6. Maths for All campaign, which was launched in 2011 to raise awareness and stimulate interest in the maths and science, in maths in particular in secondary schools, will now focus on primary schools targeting grade 7. As of September 2019, we will be introducing assessment frames in selected subjects in grades 4 to 6, 8, 10, and 11. Equally, we have intensified curriculum gear-up sessions to monitor work done per term, per subject, per school, before they participate in the examinations. In 2019, we plan to pilot grade 10 to 12 district moderations of schools whose SBA marks were rejected by Umalusi in Motewa and Lejolipuzo. In the next 2 years, we'll increase the number of schools offering art subjects, especially in the township. Renovations to convert Lorir Park primary schools into a school of autism is at the procurement phase. The school will be operational during the second half of 2020. As a province, our performance in mathematics and science continues to improve.
Both departments' budget votes serve as a sequel to where they left off previously. Remember that it is Ntate Sam Mashinini who is now serving for the second term for Police, Roads and Transport, as well as Dr. Tate Makwe. Well, in regards to Police, Roads and Transport, yes, roadworks and maintenance still remain the order of the department, as well as the Provincial Department of Education, as far as raising the bar and leaving no child behind, and also digitalizing standardizing the curriculum. My name is Tato Davids and I'm reporting for Hlasela TV. This is brought to you by Bombenero Investments in conjunction with the Free State Provincial Government, and this is how I sign out.